Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. It's been just about a year since we saw our next guest, and so much has happened.
Yeah, she does not rest on her laurels. Barb Stegemann joining us, CEO of the 7 Virtues Beauty Incorporated. They are changing the world through commerce is basically what it comes down to. How are you, Barb?
Good to be back.
Nice to see you again.
Refresh our audience, what is the story behind 7 Virtues?
We source essential oils and make perfume out of it so that we can empower farmers in different communities that are rebuilding and to shine light on countries that don't necessarily have their beauty showcased.
Yeah.
So Afghanistan and Haiti, 2 countries that we're working with now, we often just see the negative imagery. We want to show what's beautiful and at the same time do good through business.
Yeah, it's a fascinating thing because when you look at the world through the eye of media, which is how most of us experience these different places, you end up with a very warped view of culture, agriculture, you know, all these things that go into making the fabric of a community. You just don't see them.
That's right, and shining light on what's beautiful makes a country more accessible to do trade and realize that you can do trade with suppliers in these countries. In fact, they need us to.
Now, we saw you last with Afghanistan with your beautiful orange blossom fragrance that you came out with. What has happened since then, and where have you gone?
Oh man, that's a long story.
That's a good word.
Thing off the side of
Shall we start with CEO of the Year, or shall
Which one?
Should we call you
There's no room on the mantle.
How are things going, Barb?
How are you coping? Inside joke. The Noble Rose of Afghanistan we launched, and it was named by History TV viewers. I believe in democracy, include people. And it was named Noble for the brave soldiers, Noble for the brave farmers that say, I will not grow the illegal poppy crop, and Noble for the oils themselves. They travel on the most dangerous highway in the world to us.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun filming that with History TV.
And explain what's happened a little bit with some of the Canadian servicemen that have done time in Afghanistan and served there, and how they've really attached themselves to both these scents and the message behind all of it.
Well, I mean, they asked specifically to start making a scent for men. They're like, we want to buy it for ourselves.
We don't just want to buy it, we want to wear it.
I mean, it's lovely if they buy it for their wives, their mothers, sisters. It's terrific, but they wanted something for themselves. So
and what did you come up with?
The Vetiver of Haiti, rebuilding Haiti. I was looking for oils from Palestine.
Yeah.
And Peace Dividend Trust, a group, if you want to do business and do trade with these nations, they pre-qualify suppliers and help you. They said, what about Haiti? Haiti's trying to rebuild. And I was like, you know what? Let's go. Yeah. And we sourced the Vetiver of Haiti, which is traditionally for men. So what we did was we created a scent that both men and women can wear. And, like,
and it's very light fragrance. It's very fresh.
Sexy too.
It is sexy.
Which is different from us with the Virtues. We're all kind of like, let's, and suddenly it's like, I just want to be a little sexy.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Virtuosity is wonderful, but I want to be sexy and virtuous.
Some vices here.
Now, speaking of sexy, I have to talk about you in a uniform, because this was such an honor, but you pull it off
thank you.
as well. Tell us what we're looking at here. This is amazing.
That was December 9th. That was the investiture. I became the first female honorary colonel for 14 Wing Greenwood. I spoke there on International Women's Day last year. And a lot of the gentlemen came in and they said, you know, it's International Women's Day, we'll just stay a few minutes. They stayed the whole time, and 2 days later, I got an email from them. They said, we'd like you to be our honorary colonel, which is very few women have ever had this in the country. And you are a colonel in every capacity.
You get like the uniform that we saw, you get to keep it, and you've got
all over it.
You've got your pin, and
you're there, you're morale boosting, you're there with the troops. We're gonna watch Dragon's Den together, the follow-up show, February 29th.
Oh my God,
together with the troops.
What happens on the follow-up show? Because of course this was a huge launch for you to go on Dragon's Den in the first place, and really get feedback from those guys in terms of the business philosophy and everything to do with it.
Changed everything.
So what happens on the 29th? What do they do?
29th, they do a great follow-up show, and they filmed us in the Bay store and where we're at, because we weren't in the Bay then. I was out of my garage. It was on my Visa
And how many stores are you in now?
91 Bay stores, every Bay store.
Visa, how much you put on the Visa to actually buy the oil?
I put $2,000 worth of oil. That's all my supplier Abdullah had. And since then, we've invested $80,000 in this community.
And how has that changed the community? Because $80,000 means something different all over the world.
That's right, legal dollars, showing them that there are alternatives to illegal poppy crop, because that illegal poppy crop accounts for 90% of the world's heroin. It's destroying lives in the streets of Vancouver, in the streets of Halifax, and it's in our interest to care. And it also goes against Islamic law to grow the poppy. So you're not only empowering people economically, but give each other their dignity. We may be different faiths, but let's learn from one another. And that's what I'm finding this whole experience is very spiritual for me. The relationships I'm building with my suppliers, what I'm learning. I celebrated Ramadan with my supplier. I mean, I sort of adapted it. It wasn't quite like a all day, but I'm learning a lot, and I think that's what's really exciting about this. And you know, we had to smuggle in the fragrance to our supplier in Afghanistan because you're not allowed to fly it in, and we smuggled it in with the commanders bringing in little boxes, and
I'm sure they're going to be happy you're talking about this, Barb. Smuggling?
Smuggling in, but you can get 90% of the world's heroin out.
I'm Peter Mansbridge. This is W5. You're busted.
But who has ended up wearing it? With the, you told a funny little story before we started.
President Karzai's wife received the Noble Rose, and of course she sees her country's name, Noble Rose of Afghanistan, the farmer's story, and then a little tiny print, made in Canada, because it's so Canadian, we care.
Put it on the side, very small
tiny,
font at the bottom.
Just us here, we're Canadian.
And maybe talk about the Haiti, because Abdullah, you've been dealing with in Afghanistan for a couple of years now, and obviously making ties there. What's up with Haiti?
Haiti's brand new. We just started that relationship, and with our supplier Gilbert Assad, and it was interesting because, you know, they had the outbreak of cholera, they had the elections, so it was difficult to get the vetiver. And I had never experienced their vetiver before, but
what is vetiver?
Vetiver is a root. It's because they cut down all their trees in Haiti. It's very difficult, the erosion. The vetivers, actually, they have conferences on this root, prevents erosion. So they plant different grass forms in between for the animals, then they take the root of the vetiver, distill it, and make this oil, and as it turns out, it's the best in the world.
And
I had no idea.
It's such a beautiful platform for a scent, and once again, sexy, and all those other things.
You can smell the ocean.
So how much, I mean, you mentioned Afghanistan, and how much you learn from, you know, your connection there, person to person, and it must be the same in Haiti.
Same with, in fact, we launched the vetiver in Montreal because there's a strong Haitian community there, and I had some friends from Haiti come join us. And my supplier, Gilbert, happened to be in Montreal. So he joined us at the Bay of Montreal. There were some tears shed. It was very emotional, very beautiful. And it just continues to be this beautiful dance.
And Barb, you're such a strong woman, obviously, strong in business, strong in personality, but you seem, this seems to have been a very spiritual journey for you. At the same time, how has this whole process changed you?
Well, you know, it started with my best friend when he was wounded in Afghanistan, and I just thought, I'm not a brave soldier, I'm not a world leader, I don't have an access point to touch peace, but I gotta find a way. And I found a way, but it's been definitely, I feel like I'm a really good servant. I sort of wake up and go, okay, tell me which way to go and I'll go. And I'm sort of led, and it's definitely very spiritual.
Well, we'll be watching Dragon's Den on February 29th. Always cheering you on. I have to say, it's so funny. Perfume is such a personal thing, and I love all three of these fragrances. They're amazing. So does my mom, and she
quality right there.
that means a lot to me.
It does. It does. Absolutely. Thanks so much, Barb.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations on all your success. We're going to take a break.